Hey guys, it's Yusafa, and welcome back to Voices of the Community. I'm really excited about today's guest. It's a story of resilience and second chances. Today's guest is Acey. So Acey started first playing MCOC back in 2017 while still in school. He was drawn in by his love of Marvel and classic fighting games like Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. But over time, his interest kind of drifted away. Then in 2019, he came back. He started up a new account and was grinding hard until mistakes led to a ban. For many, that would have been the end. But again, he came back again in 2021, encouraged by his friends, and he started fresh. This time he built patiently, and today he's an in-game player, motivated by building his roster and ranking up his favorite champions. AC also brings sharp takes on Kabam, from monetization and communication to performance issues and the balance between fun content and in-game grinds. So let's get into it. This is Voices of the Community, and today's guest is AC. Hey guys, it's Yusafa back for Voices of the Community. Today we've got AC. AC, how about you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Acey. I've played the game for about 7 years on and off. I started out in like 2017, started, with 4 stars, all of that. Never really progressed back then. I left it for a couple years, came back, had certain instances which forced me to leave, and then I've come back again, and I'm still here now, currently sitting at an endgame level. So that's where I'm currently at.
AC, what do you guys focus on in your alliance? Is it Alliance War? Is it AQ? Is it Battlegrounds? When you say in-game alliance, what are we talking about?
So we're talking about AQ and Alliance War.
Okay, well,
Battlegrounds is sort of optional.
yeah, Roger. Where did you guys end up in Alliance War last? Well, not last season, but regular seasons. Did you guys end up like platinum?
Um, we are Platinum Free Alliance.
Ah, sweet, yeah, yeah. No, I would say anyway, any platinum alliance, Masters alliance, it does take a level of commitment by the entire alliance to reach that. So that's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank
Now,
you.
now, you did mention in your quick intro that there were reasons why you were kind of forced away from the game. Do you want to talk about that, or do you not? Do you want to stay away from that?
Yeah, I can talk about it. It's probably why I'm most well known within the community.
Sure.
Um, so I used to be quite not a bad person, but I used to say stuff which was completely wrong, and it got me in a lot of trouble. It got my account permanently banned, so I had to completely restart from fresh.
Okay. When you say you said bad thing, you got banned because of communication issues. Is that what the deal was? It wasn't you were out there murking or anything like that, were you?
No, no, I wasn't working. It was purely communication issues.
All right, sweet. That's completely understandable. Um, you mentioned that you were that at one point, like around 2017, after you played the game for a little bit, that you were kind of like losing interest and stepping away. What kind of led to that burnout?
I think it was just where the state of the game was at the time. It was back when like the gold and ISO shortages were around.
Yeah,
And what I enjoy about this game is ranking up characters which I enjoy playing.
yeah,
And I wasn't able to rank up anyone because I had no gold, I had no ISO. And whilst I enjoyed playing the game, I also wanted to progress. But since I wasn't progressing, I just slowly stopped playing. It
right.
was like a slow descent.
Do you feel that currently where we're at right now and where your account is and in your alliance is right now, do you feel do you feel renewed interest with continuing on to play this game for the near term future or the long term future, or
So
do you feel kind of like disappointed in the current state of the game?
it's a mix of both.
Yeah,
I I'm definitely not as passionate about the game as I used to be. I used to play like every single day for hours on end. Now I log in and I'm like, I'll do my bit. I'll do AQ, do a war, maybe do a bit of the side quest, maybe do event quest, some story, and then I'll just get off it, and that'll be it.
yeah,
Um, so I look forward to like champions which are coming out. Like I'm really looking forward to Silver Samurai. I really want to get him.
yeah,
So I'm like working towards having more chances to get him. However, the new events, new endgame content, like you had Wheel of Fate, I wasn't really a big fan of that.
yeah,
So it's not really. I'm not too fussed on story. Like I get it done, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not important to me.
right.
But like I'm interested, but I'm not as interested as I used to be.
So back in 2019, so you started in 2017, you stepped away for a bit, you came back in 2019 with a new account,
Yes.
and you really dove in, even documenting your progress as you went through it.
Yes.
What was that period of time like for you after you had stepped away for a little bit, after you found that the game was getting a little stale, losing interest, and you stepped away, and you came back in 2019 and hit it full hog? What was that period?
It was genuinely amazing. My love for the game hasn't been like it since.
No.
I was playing every single day. I was doing like 24 hours on the game at sometimes, like just constantly playing. I dove straight back in, and I think within like 2 months I had like 650,000 rating.
Nice.
It was ridiculous. I couldn't stop playing it. But then I sort of just it got to a point where it was like I sort of ran out of things to do,
Yeah.
and then I lost that interest again, which was it's upsetting.
So 2019, that was right around the time of the heyday of the MCU. Did that help encourage your interest in the game with the successful movies coming out?
I don't think so. I think this game made me enjoy the MCU more than I did but
Okay.
previously. I was never really a Phase One person for the movies,
Yep.
but however, like in the Infinity Saga, that's like when I was properly playing,
Yep.
and it was just every time I go into a movie and I was like, oh, I know that character from MCOC. Oh, I know a bit about them because I'm not really a Marvel nerd. I don't really know many of the characters. I don't read any of the comics.
Right.
So it's nice this game sort of brought the movies alive for me more than the movies brought the game alive for me.
Right. No, that's fantastic. I mean, that's rare from the people that I talk to, is that it was the MCU that have driven them into the game as opposed to the other way around. So it's interesting to talk to somebody that had a different experience, the opposite experience as the rest of us. Um, so you made your decision to return back to the game after that 2019 period, back in 2021 during the height of COVID. How did starting fresh for the third time help you rebuild as an in-game player?
It was tough. Obviously, I had a reputation at that point, and it was tough because everywhere I looked, there were just people who knew me from that.
Yeah.
However, there were also people who knew me like on a personal level who would talk to me like on Discord or they'd message me and we'd spend time together. And they helped me back into the game. They gave me an alliance. I was like 20k rated and they were letting me into their really big alliance. I was like, oh, thank you very much.
Right.
And I think if it wasn't for those people helping me, I wouldn't have gotten back into the game. But the journey from that to becoming an endgame player again, it was quite long. Even now, I still feel like I'm playing a lot of catch up compared
Right.
to other people I play with.
Do you think that the reputation that you had established previously, do you think it has waned over the years? Or do you think people still assume that AC is synonymous with bad communication?
It's still there. I definitely still see it there with some old people who I used to interact with. They still have a certain opinion of me.
Okay.
I'll go into like live stream chats and people will be like, "Are you so and so who did this a couple of years ago?" I'm like, "Yeah." However, I took that time off to like improve myself as a person, and
Yeah.
I just I try to do better than what I used to do, and I hope eventually one day that stuff is completely gone and I can just be AC, a fun guy who people enjoy being around,
Yeah.
rather than the guy who did this stuff years ago.
Right. Yeah. No, I completely understand. I've made mistakes in the past too that I wish would die, um, but some of them definitely do have legs. You said you're motivated by building your roster and ranking up your favorite players, favorite characters. What champions do you like the most personally?
So I'm a really big fan of OG Guillotine. I
Really?
am a diehard OG Guillotine fan. I will defend her till the day I die.
Yep. Do you remember OG Guillotine before she was buffed?
Yes,
This is
she
way
was
back
my
when.
first ever 4 star.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I remember trying to use OG Guillotine in the labyrinth and just not getting it to work because you would always have to rush to the special two in order to have any sort of health drain off the opponent. So she never was my playstyle.
See, I like the sword. It's the sword for
The
me.
sword
The
is the
the
sword,
the big sword. I
right?
don't know what it is,
What about
but
Guillotine 299? I mean, she has a big sword too.
despiser. Can't stand
Despiser.
guillotine 29. No, because she came in and she's a better guillotine. I don't like the fact that my guillotine is now not as good as the other guillotine.
So not that Guillotine 299 is a bad champion. It's just that she kind of overshadows the OG. Got it.
Exactly.
Right. Do you think
But
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
sorry, I'm a really big sucker for the underrated champions.
Yeah.
So I've got three rank fours. We got Sandman, Sabretooth, and Punisher 2099.
Oh, nice.
And I really want to. I like building up my roster because I want to show off champions which may not get the time of day from most people, but I want to show off that even though they're not the best of the best, they are
Yeah.
still very good and they still deserve the playtime that I think they should have. I think there's a lot of champions nowadays which people just look over
Yeah.
because they're not the top of the class, and I want to bring them out and show how good they actually can be. So I've always enjoyed underdog stories, really.
Which champion do you think is the most underrated that's currently in the game right now?
The most underrated guillotine.
You still think OG Guillotine is is the most
I
underrated?
still think it's the guillotine. If she comes out as a 7 star, she's getting taken all the way up. She is so good. It is unreal.
I thought you were going to say Joaquin Phoenix because I think Joaquin is very underrated, and I also think my new favorite underrated champion is the Maker. I think that people just aren't using him nearly as much, and I do think he is a great champion. But again,
See, I can't
I'm
stand him.
inserting my own
I'm
biases to
sorry.
this. Do you think the Kabam does enough to let players rank the champs that they want, or are resources too restrictive still?
I feel like some resources are too restrictive.
Yeah,
Tier 6 basic, tier 3 alpha. Obviously, it's gotten better recently, but when you're using like 7, 8 of them per rank up,
yep,
you're just getting them too slowly.
yep,
Compared to like with the Radiant store, obviously you can get 8 now for like 5,000. But even so, there's so much good stuff in the Radiant store, like tier 7 basic, the Sig Stones, the tier 4 alpha, the units. You're not buying that stuff with Radiance, at least I'm not.
yeah,
Even though it's in the Radiant store, I feel like we're still not getting enough avenues to get it. And then I have a gripe. I feel like the lower level catalysts are really hard to get a hold of.
yeah.
I know lower level catalysts, like I'm an end game player, but I still want to rank up my lower level champions, and I'm not able to.
Right. Yeah, I am a huge fan of the new daily quest because now some of those resources are more readily available. Obviously, I don't know if you remember, but last banquet there was a resource issue with regards to the greater banquet crystals that Kabam eventually discovered and had to supplement the high spenders of those crystals. So I think that there have been several times in this game where there are examples of those unnecessary resource restrictions that Kabam has imposed upon us. So I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm totally with you. All right, so I probably know the answer to this question, so I'm reluctant to ask it. But from listening to you talk, do you play more for the love of the Marvel characters themselves, or for the competitive side in the game modes?
I'm playing more for the fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, the competitive side, I used to be a competitive player. I'm not anymore. I've taken a step back from all of that.
Yeah.
But I play it to have fun. I play it when I'm free. I don't really want to be competitive on it. I don't. I just enjoy playing with the characters I enjoy playing. I don't
Right.
want to be pushing battlegrounds for 7 hours a day. I don't want to be in tier 1 Masters War
Yeah.
trying to worry about whether I'm going to die or not. I just want to enjoy playing the game at my own pace.
Yeah. Are the people in your alliance of the same motivation? Do you think?
Yes and no. Some of them are like really competitive like players, and then some of them are very laid back like me, but
Right.
this is it's the same alliance I've been playing with pretty much since I started playing the game.
Oh, nice.
So it's changed a lot, but I think the general consensus in my alliance is it's very laid back, but if you want to be competitive, by all means, go be competitive.
Right. So speaking of that, how influential or how important were those friends that you made back in 2017 when you started playing the game? Now in the game within the alliance that you are, how important are those friendships that you formed?
They're very important to me because they're like my family away from home.
Yep.
Like I don't know any of them in real life. I know them through talking through them through an app and playing a mobile game with them. And I just feel like any issues that I have, anything that's going on, they'll be there for me. If I just need somebody to talk to, they're there. If I just don't want to talk to anyone, I don't have to talk to them. And it's nice to have that like connection with people on an online basis. I think some of the best people I've ever met have been people online. So it's nice that it's there.
Yeah. Do you think that the overall, so stepping outside of just your alliance, but do you think that the overall community, MCOC community, is stronger and more connected than when it was when you first started, or not so much?
Um, that's a tough one. I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays there's a lot of like division within the community. You got free to play, you got whales, then you've
Yep.
got people who defend Gabam, people who don't defend Gabam. I think everywhere you look, there's just so many different opinions and people having a go at each other. That even though the community's there, it's sort of like people are in like their own little bubbles in the community, and they don't really go outside to talk to other people in other bubbles.
Right. No, I'm with you.
That's just
Yeah.
my opinion, though.
Not to put too much information in this interview. This is your time, but I opened up the splash page or the browsing suggestions YouTube videos yesterday, and it was, I want to say, 12 negative videos of stuff that had happened just that day, and it had all to do with the Spider Woman nerf, blah blah blah. But I mean, when you go to these, you go to the suggested viewings of these videos, and you just see an entire page of Kabam sucks, or this champion is being nerfed, and there's no good vibes. It's all negativity. It definitely affects your mood of the game and your opinion of the game for that moment. Um, it's a little frustrating. Speaking of that, now I'm going to ask you some controversial-ish questions, AC.
Ooh,
Yeah. Now,
okay.
now feel free to answer them or not answer them. It's completely up to you. But I'm going to pose them, and if you want to answer them, fine. If not, just pass through it. So monetization of the game.
Yeah.
Do you think Kabam has gone too far in pushing spending, or is it just the nature of a
Yes.
free-to-play game?
No, they've gone too far.
Expand.
In no game should one character be locked behind a $1,000 or £1,000 paywall.
Okay. You're talking
No,
specifically
no game.
about. You're talking
Dark
specifically about Dark
Phoenix.
Phoenix? Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Then we got Human Torch like 2 months later. Is that the same thing? Just a bit cheaper though. Only £600 this time. Just a bit cheaper.
Yep.
That's very kind of them to do. However, no mobile game, um, can you justify? You can't justify charging players that much money because that is a lot of money,
Yep.
especially when it's like a hobby mobile game. That is a lot of money to charge for one character.
Yep.
And I'd understand it if they, gave the option of like, you can buy Dark Phoenix here for like £1,000, but like a year later she'll be introduced into the Titan. I'd understand it a bit more then because then you're like giving people early access to this character, and then eventually people will be able to get this character who don't spend that money.
Right.
But the fact that they haven't, introduced anything like that, even with the Silver Samurai, like they sold him for 400 with the recent sale.
Right.
That is ridiculous amount for one character in a game,
Yep.
and I think it's just gone way too much. There's too many sales. Obviously, they need to make money. I completely understand that. But when you're basically forcing people to pay to play, like, oh, look, all these great rewards, but you have to pay so much money to get them.
Yep.
And, you're going to get better rewards from paying this much on a bi-monthly basis than actually playing the game. It just gets to a point where you're not able to do what you want to do without paying a ridiculous amount of money.
right? And then let's fold in that paywall champ, the champion behind the paywall, with the, and we've seen it recently, the possibility that that paywall champion is nerfed or not as valuable as deserved behind that paywall. So if you spend $1,000, you may be getting the champ that was advertised, and then 4 months later, it may be a completely different champion.
Who are you referring to when you say
Uh,
this?
so so people did spend money acquiring Spider Woman. She did. People did, right? Opening
Oh
crystals,
yeah, yeah.
spending time, resources. 4 months after she was released, and it was discovered that she was too difficult of a champion on defense, especially in battlegrounds, they decided to nerf her. So, I mean, I know that there are examples out there of other games doing that, doing nerfing a champion that is just too powerful to work in the current meta, but it still stings. I mean, if somebody spends $1,000 for a champion, and then 3 months later it becomes completely changed, no longer has the utility that makes them a great champion. I mean, I would feel robbed personally.
I personally agree with you.
Yeah.
I
Anywho,
feel like it's a tough one though, because obviously they get the final say, and there's no way for people to get back their money because of it. It's a really bad thing for them to do.
yeah.
But I don't know what could be done to stop it.
Well, the good news is that this is the first nerf in a long time. We haven't seen this being done to a champion in a very long time, where they've actually been nerfed out of existence. And not to say that Spider Woman's going to be nerfed out of existence. She's still going to be a great champion, but she is going to lose some of the value that she once had, especially on defense and battlegrounds. But the good news is that this doesn't happen very often, and sometimes I feel like it should be occurring a little bit more than usual, more than that. I mean, Serpent is just a beast on defense, but I'm inserting too much of
I
my own opinion in this interview, AC.
No, no, it's absolutely fine.
All right,
I'm in complete agreement with you on it though.
all right. You said new content feels like in-game content. I'm assuming that you mean the EQ feels a lot like in-game content rather than fun content. Can you expand on that? And what's missing from that fun factor?
So I really liked back when they did like event quests, where it's like the treasure one where you go down and then you get like a random thing, or rifts, or Gwenpool, the Gwenpool one that was like really big. I enjoyed that because it had like a new different bit of game mode every single month. Even if it wasn't a massive difference, it was still new, it was different every single month.
Yeah,
Then they obviously removed those and just put in like a standard event quest. Event quest is good and everything, however, I do not want to be spending that much time doing it.
yeah,
Then they went to Valiant Gauntlet. Valiant Gauntlet in the beginning, it was long, it was tedious. Then they changed it. Then they changed it again, changed it again. They went through months of doing it, and they finally got it to where people were like, "Okay, this is good. We're getting good rewards. I don't mind doing this. It's quite fun. I enjoy it." And then they reverted it entirely back to where you have to do EQ again,
yeah,
and then you have to do the original Valiant Gauntlet, which nobody liked.
yeah, yeah.
It becomes too much of a chore rather than you're doing it for fun.
Right.
And especially since it's now prestige based rewards, if you don't do it, you're missing out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
But it's a lot to do, and some people don't have the time to do it. Some people don't enjoy it because it's not fun, or they've tuned it back a bit, but it's still not. It's not something that I'd look at and think, "I've done that. I can't wait to do it again next month."
yeah,
Whereas with the old like event quests, I was like, "Oh, I wonder what next month's going to be." I was always looking at videos like, "What is next month's event quest? How do I do it? What's going to be the best way to get rewards?"
yeah,
With this, I'm like, "I'll do it, but only because I have to."
yeah. How do you feel about having to do classic event quests before the Elder quest?
I don't mind doing the classic event quests
Yeah,
because you just have to do one path pretty much.
yeah,
However, I don't like the fact that you don't really get anything for doing it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
you have to do Elder to get basically anything.
yeah.
Like it's just a waste of time at that point. But I don't mind it. It's not hard. It's or anything. It's just tedious. But it's 6 paths with like 7 fights.
How much do performance issues such as drop inputs, AI bugs, lag impact your enjoyment of the game? Are,
I I don't experience them that much.
okay,
I feel like that's quite a weird thing, especially with how much you hear happening. But I don't experience it that much. However, when I do experience it, it annoys the ever living. I don't know if you can swear on your channel. I'm not going to. It annoys me to no ends. You know, when you
yep.
miss a parry, when you know that you parried, or when you whiff an attack which you shouldn't have whiffed. It annoys me so much, but it's not a big thing for me because I don't experience it that often.
Have you ever had a disconnect during Alliance War?
No.
Okay. When that does happen to you, it's man, it's happened to me a couple times, and it is terrible, especially when you're dealing at the masters level, and one death can mean a war being won or lost. It's difficult. Do you think that
Yeah.
do you think the Kabam is listening to the community or just managing it right now?
I think Kabam don't really care about the community.
Mm.
And I can expand on that if you want me to expand on that.
Absolutely, please.
So whenever I don't talk a lot in like the forums or the Discord server, but whenever I do, I ask like the mods of Kabam, like I ask the team directly what they plan to do about something, why something is the way it is. And every single time I've personally talked to any of the people who are in charge, like the communication team,
Yep,
that's what I mean by the people in charge,
yep,
they always talk to me back like I'm an idiot and I don't know anything about how games work.
yep,
And I've noticed it a lot with how they talk to a lot of people. There's definitely a disconnect with how Kabam view the game and how we view the game. Obviously, Kabam view the game completely differently than how we view the game. However, I feel like rather than working with the community, they're working against the community.
mm,
They're not talking to the community as much as they need to be. They're not taking on advice from the community. I mean, we are the players, we want this game to do well. We love this game and we want it to succeed. However, when you completely ignore the players and you just do your own thing, then it becomes an issue of players versus the company. And at the moment, I think the company is performing very badly with how they're dealing with everything.
yeah. Now, I will. So, AC, I have a personal relationship with a lot of the Kabam people. Um, Karate Mike is my leader, right? Kabamasaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Kabam crashed, was in my alliance for a season, and we talk all the time over Discord. A lot of the other Kabam developers, uh, we do talk to them. I can also say that I have experienced what you experienced. That comments made by me sometimes are discounted and swept to the side. So I can empathize with you as well. That is not something that they're doing against AC. They're doing it against other people. Now, do I think that
Um,
do I think that's malicious? I do not. I do not. I think that they get a lot of inputs, and sometimes it's just easier to ignore them.
I definitely think they get a lot of stick when they shouldn't get stick.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's malicious at all. I don't think it's a personalized thing. I don't think they're like, oh, AC's chatting, I'm not going to answer him. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's just they can handle a lot of situations better, I feel like.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So getting back to the question, you think that are if they're listening to the community or just managing it, you think that they are managing based upon when a new fire erupts.
Yes.
All right. All right. I got a couple more questions for you. We're wrapping up here. What's your proudest achievement since you've returned in 2021, do you think? Just sticking with the
Ah,
game?
no, actually.
Okay.
Probably my proudest achievement, I have a lot, but being the first person to get Cav under level 45.
Oh, nice.
And I also came first in one of the old solo events where it was hero use. I came first once, and that is probably it's a really sad achievement, but it's probably my proudest achievement that I have in the game. Just having seeing me thirst for in any area of the game
Right.
is cool.
Being a player who's stepped away from the game a couple times and then come back with renewed energy, what would you say to people that are thinking about uh, quitting the game or being burnt out, but what would you say to them?
I have a very simple message.
Okay,
Remember, this game is meant to be for fun.
absolutely, absolutely.
If you play this game, play it purely to have fun. Don't worry about anything that's happening outside of the game. Don't worry about anything that's happening in the game.
Yeah.
Don't worry about any issues. Just play to the point where you're having fun. And if you're not having fun, just walk away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's a good message for me too, because there are several times where that I feel a little frustrated as well. So that's a good message for me as well. I'm going to take that to heart. All right, AC. That ends the interview, man. I want to say I really do appreciate you spending your time with me this afternoon. Um, it's great talking to you, and I hope to be on Discord and line and see you in the game again. But guys, everybody, viewers, if you did like this interview, please hit like or subscribe. I'm going to have many more voices of the community out there in the near future, and I'm going to be doing some live interviews in Vancouver when I'm out there. So again, AC, thank you so much, and we'll see you
Thank you
guys
for having
in
me.
the battle world.